Yo, what is going on, everybody? Stetson here, and today we're going to be talking about my wants versus my expectations for RWBY Volume 9. I don't know when it's going to come out. I haven't really kept up with Rooster Teeth recently. I've just been watching a lot of RWBY. So, yeah, we're just going to hop right into this, and we're going to be starting with my wants, and then we'll switch between wants and expectations until we're done with the video. There's going to be 3 wants, 3 expectations, with 1 bonus thing at the very end. So, if you guys enjoy this video, leave a like. Let me know if I should do more stuff like this in the future with different shows or even video games, and I will see what I can do. So, yeah, hope you guys enjoy this video, and I'll see you in there. Alrighty, so we're going to start this video off with my least wanted, but still one of my wants that I've put onto my list. And that's going to be a focus on Team RWBY in Volume 9. Because, as we saw, they all fell into the void. Yang first, and then proceeded to be RWBY being knocked in by Neo, and then so on and so forth. I think this is the perfect opportunity to focus on Team RWBY and actually give them character development. RWBY has never gotten legitimate character development that hasn't been immediately retracted by her giving 16 million just motivational speeches. I think focus on Team RWBY, Nora, Ren, Winter, whatever, even Oscar. Like, Oscar's really cool. Love Oscar. Keep them out of the story for Volume 9. Use Volume 9 since they're all together, along with Jean, unfortunately, whatever. But since they're all together, keep the story focused on them. You can have every once in a while, show Nora, Ren, Oscar, Winter, and everybody from Atlas, you can show them once in a while. I'm fine with that. Because, in fact, one of my other wants is going to incorporate some other people. However, just keep the focus on Team RWBY, because the show is literally called RWBY. So why have we never focused on a main character? We have had more development for Ren. Hell, we've had more development for Cinder, and we haven't had any development for Cinder. The only main character that has legitimately been developed without everything being taken away immediately is Weiss. Weiss has had pretty good character development for the most part. Blake hasn't had much character development. She's been basically the same character throughout the whole thing, except she has become more open. That is her whole character arc. Yang had PTSD, no longer has PTSD somehow, just murdered off who gave her PTSD really easily, and RWBY went from she was nervous as a leader to she became a really good leader to now she's just a mediocre leader once again. So, yeah, focus on Team RWBY in Volume 9 and I'll be pretty happy. Alright, so starting off with my whole expectations, we're going to start with the thing I least expect, which is Team RWBY meeting the gods of their world. I think this is going to happen because where Crescent Rose landed in the end credit of Volume 8 kind of looked like where the gods would reside if they were to reside somewhere, and plus the guy from the staff said, please don't fall down there or whatever. I think that the gods probably reside in where Team RWBY just went, and I think they are going to meet the gods. The gods are going to take a liking to them, and they're really going to like Team RWBY, give them the powers to beat Salem or some shit, and that's going to be the cheapest way out of anything ever. Salem is an immortal, unbeatable villain, okay? Make it seem like it. Don't just give them the powers. But I expect Team RWBY to receive the powers to beat Salem from the gods that they meet in the area that they're at. Honestly, I really hope this doesn't happen. I really hope it doesn't happen. But just from what I've seen, I think it will happen, and it's unfortunate. But if it happens, as long as they take it in the right direction, I would be fine with it. I just don't want it to happen, Anyways, on to the next want. Alrighty, so second want that I have is something that is you guys probably won't understand when I first say it, and it's going to be the reintroduction of Pira Nikos. And not in the way of bringing her character back. I want Jean is going to be a really big focus in this volume, from what we can tell. I want Jean to bring Pira back into his focus. I want Jean to become the warrior he always wanted to be because of Pira, and I want him to show that that is why he is becoming the warrior he is becoming. They took Pira almost completely out of his character, and I really want to see them bring Pira back into his character and be a huge motivation and actually show that she is a huge motivation to him instead of just saying it. Show, don't tell. Honestly, just give Jean his motivation back. Reintroduce Pira, or at least the name, into the story. Have somebody from Team RWBY say, this isn't what Pira would want from you, Jean. And then have Jean just completely change his mindset in something that was going on. I don't care what they do. Bring Pira back into Jean's character, because that is the only time Jean was ever a good character. And I really, really loved Jean when Pira was his motivation. But then since they took it out and only mentioned it every once in a while, he took a straight dive down. And I just really want to see Jean as a great character once again. Alright, so leading on to the second expectation. This is something that I want to see, but I also don't want to see. So, going back to the introduction of the gods to Team RWBY, same area. I think that if this isn't a place where the gods reside, this is going to be a place where people in the afterlife reside, which is going to lead to a Summer Rose introduction. And I do think that both of these things are very plausible. I think that the gods and Summer could both be introduced in the same way, actually. But a Summer Rose intro, the reason why I would want that, even though I don't actually want it, the reason why I would want that is because it would lead to a Team Stark backstory, or at least it should. And because of that, I really want a Team Stark backstory just like everybody does. And getting a Team Stark backstory would include seeing Summer again in this volume, because Crow's not with Team RWBY, Ty's not with Team RWBY, and Raven probably will pop up somewhere with Team RWBY, but I don't see her giving the backstory of Team Stark to Team RWBY plus Jean. So I think Summer Rose is going to be introduced in this volume. They're going to see her, they're going to meet her, Ruby's going to freak out, she's going to have some Silver Eye shenanigans, and then they're going to just get together and Summer is going to tell them Team Stark's backstory. That's not how I want to learn Team Stark's backstory, but if it happens, then I wouldn't be mad, because we're getting Team Stark's backstory, and that's something that I've wanted since Team Stark was introduced. So, yeah, I expect that. Don't care if it happens, really, as long as we get a Team Stark backstory eventually. Even a spin-off show for Team Stark would be pretty cool, but it's up to the writers, and we'll see how that goes. And for what would seem like the final want is seeing Team Coffee once again. If you don't know, Team Coffee is Coco Adele, Fox Alistair, I want to say, Velvet, I don't remember her last name, and Yatsuhashi Daichi, which Team Coffee has 3 of my 4 favorite characters in the entire show in Coco, Fox, and Velvet. Really like those 3 characters. Also, it's Velvet Scarlatina, just remembered. But those 3 characters are really cool. And I also really do like Yatsuhashi. I just haven't really put much focus into learning about him. And Coco, Fox, and Velvet are really cool. I really love their designs. And especially Fox being blind. I think he's a really cool character. And I would love to see them reintroduced into the story, because Ren, Nora, and the rest of that party are going to Vacua, where Team Coffee currently resides. So seeing them reintroduced into the story would actually be really cool, and I would really love to see Team Coffee reintroduced into the story, especially since their theme song is Caffeine, which is the best song from RWBY, and it's not even close. So yeah, I would really love to see Team Coffee reintroduced into the storyline, as long as they weren't a focus, they were just scene, and then volume 10 they can be a focus. I don't care. I want to see them in volume 9 as long as they're not a focused character. Now, expectation number 3 is something I really, really don't want to see in volume 9. I would be fine with it later on. I really do not want to see it in volume 9 specifically. But I fully expect it to be in volume 9, and that would be Bumblebee or Blake and Yang getting into a full relationship. Okay, I hate the idea of Blake and Yang in a relationship because there's been no development that has been true development for the relationship. Sun and Blake was 100% better. They had the story writing to go along with that being a legitimate relationship, and it was a good one too. Sun would stick his neck out for Blake, and he did so. Yang says she would, but she never has. And we haven't seen Blake and Yang do anything for each other besides protecting each other, but not protecting one another against Adam. Worst fucking script writing I've ever heard in my life, by the way. Like, if you're protecting one another, you're protecting each other. Like, what the fuck was that? Anyways, that's besides the point. I think Bumblebee would be alright if it had more development. If they take Volume 9 and develop Bumblebee more so that we actually see that they care about each other more than just wanting to protect each other, I totally could see that being a working relationship, and I'd be totally fine with it. But it needs development. As of right now, it's just they seem into each other. And that is a terrible way to have a relationship, especially between two characters in your main four characters. Plus, taking Yang's focus and putting it strictly on Blake makes it seem like RWBY and Yang aren't even sisters anymore, because Yang doesn't show any concern for RWBY anymore. But RWBY was the whole reason that she joined the expedition to go against Salem, and then she doesn't show any fucks given towards RWBY for like 90% of the series. You really can't even tell that they are siblings for most of it. If I just took Volume 5 and on and took out every part where Yang mentions that RWBY and her are sisters and just slapped it onto a plate in front of somebody and had them watch everything, I highly doubt that they would know that Yang and RWBY are sisters. And they would think that Yang and Blake were fucking lovers or something, and that Blake left Yang for a little while. Like, I know this is going to become a thing, because Rooster Teeth has really been shoving Blake and Yang and their relationship down RWBY's fans' throats. And like I said, I would be fine with it if it had more development. It just doesn't have the development needed to be a good relationship on screen. So, I fully expect this to become a full thing without the development that it needs to be good. And I hate it, but I completely see it happening. And yeah. Now, we've gotten to the bonus section. This is basically just an extra want that I really want to happen. And that would be Neo getting unnerved. Neo went from one of the most badass characters that could hold her own in any fight against anybody, and I would argue she was debatably the strongest character fighting-wise in the entire RWBY series. Now, she wasn't physically strong, but when it came to fighting, she could handle just about anybody. She could take out just about anybody. She handed Yang her own ass on a fucking silver platter after they fought and almost killed her before Raven came in and saved Yang. Honestly, Neo getting beat by Maria Calavera in the last volume was embarrassing to Rooster Teeth, RWBY, to the entire show as a whole. The power scaling is so bad for Neo. She gets punched in the face by Oscar and then proceeds to beat the shit out of Team Juniper. Like, it makes no sense. She should never lose a fight to any of the main characters. Ever. until the main characters get more training under their belt and become better. But she is consistently lost because plot. Plot demands that the main characters win. And because of that, the main characters win. And Neo has been nerfed to all hell because literally nothing can stop them from trying to push forward the main characters as these total badasses that don't need to do anything, don't need to listen, and just do whatever they want. Anyways, that's going to wrap it up for this video. Let me know what you guys thought in the comments below. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video, and hit that big red subscribe button if you want to see more content like this. Yeah, that's just about it. See you guys in the next video. Peace out.